Evet,
Yayını
arkadaşlar değil mi? Bu akşam.
Silahlı kuvvetlerimizin içinde malum bir yer. Bismillah, Allahu Ekber.
Ankara'ya gidecektir ama ne zaman
gidecek?
Şeyi var etrafında, kordonu var.
Emniyete götürmüşler.
Zaten yabancı ajanslar geçti bunu. Gözaltına alınan darbecilerden bir tanesi. İşte
Welcome to Tactical Talk, this is Zain. The Turkish coup was so unpredictable that it shook the world of geopolitics. Different countries had different narratives. Nobody really still doesn't know what happened. Today, the guest of our show is Merve Sebnem, a prominent Turkish journalist from Istanbul. She writes for the Daily Sabah and also appears on many Turkish channels. Welcome to our show, Merve Sebnem. This is Zain Khan. It's a pleasure to have you on Tactical Talk.
Hello, Zain. It's nice to talk to you.
Merve Sebnem, what time did you get to know that the coup was taking place, and what were the initial information that was coming out?
Well, Zain, I heard the issue around 10 p.m. on the 15th of July. I saw unconfirmed reports on the agencies that's claiming that some soldiers seized weapons from police in front of the historical Beylerbeyi Palace on the Asian side of Istanbul. I was checking the news at that moment, and in a few minutes, a friend who was passing by the Bosphorus Bridge at that moment called me and said something unusual was happening, and the Bosphorus Bridge was blocked by the soldiers. Then I saw some tweets on social media from Ankara, actually, claiming that Turkish airspace was closed to traffic. And still, by F-16 fighter jets were flying low over the city. It was hard to determine that it was a coup attempt or it was a terror attack. It was suspicious, but unfortunately it was both. Then in an hour, it was confirmed as the coup plotters seized Turkish state broadcasting channel TRT and made this coup announcement. Turkish Prime Minister Binali Yildirim was then able to address the public and said that there was an attempt and that we will not surrender, we will resist. Actually, I was in a cafe close to Vatan Boulevard at the European side of Istanbul, where Istanbul Police Headquarters is located. I heard the screams of people that saying that the army tanks were on Vatan Boulevard trying to seize the police headquarters. Then in a minute, I found myself in front of the tanks with my friends and hundreds of people. We started to resist. Actually, this is the start, the story's starting point.
Okay, Merve, many people think that the whole Turkish military pursued this coup. Would you clarify?
Well, I can assure you, Fethullah Gülen is the mastermind of the coup, Zain. From the very first moment, actually, Turkish people were aware of that Turkish army was not in it, but the Gülenists infiltrated into Turkish army were staging the coup. And maybe you know that Turkish army's chief of staff Hulusi Akar was taken hostage by them. Actually, Turkish society has long suspected that Gülenists inside the Turkish army had been preparing to stage a coup. The Gülenists previously tried to overthrow the democratically elected government of Turkey in December 2013 via their corruption allegations, and they tried to take Erdogan and his son into custody, and their public declarations in the last 2 or 3 years actually revealed that something was on the horizon. They were trying to make something worse. And actually 2 days before the coup attempt, prosecutors in Ankara, the capital of Turkey, announced that the file that's seeking to extradite Fethullah Gülen, who is living in the United States, was finally ready and was sent to the Justice Department of Turkey. And the investigations against this terror group, Fethullah Gülen terrorist organization, have been proceeding consistently. So it was a matter of time for them to be to see that the Fethullah Gülen is about to extradite Turkey, so they had to do something. But unfortunately, since last year's two terror attacks, you know, that which have been carried out by the outlawed PKK and Daesh, had hit the headlines. So the Gülenist threat was overseen, ignored by the international media.
Why did the coup fail, and who was behind it, Merve?
Well, as I said, it was planned and staged by the Gülen soldiers loyal to the Fethullah Gülen instead of Turkish state or Turkish army. It was not Turkish army, but some terrorists who infiltrated in Turkish state in the last 30, 40 years, and it failed because even though they look powerful, they look like they have support in Turkey. When you look from the outside, actually they are not. Turkish people, no matter what they are, actually they can be secular or religious. They can be Kurds or Turks, Sunnis or Alevis. It doesn't. No one like the Gülenists, no one like their agenda. The public do not trust them for a long time. Millions of people on the streets that night knew that they were fighting against the Gülenists, not their army. It was not Turkish army. And actually it was, I know that from the international media, when you follow up the stories about Turkey, you see something else, but it's not actually happening in Turkey. What you see on the reports usually looks like another Turkey, a parallel Turkey, which actually surprised all of us.
How damaging was this coup to Turkey, and do you think Turkey will get back to normal soon?
Well, Zain, it was a big trauma, as you can expect. We lost more than 200 people, lots of friends, and thousands were wounded. In a calm night, while we were sitting at the cafes, restaurants, and at our houses, we heard that there was a coup, and we were on the streets fighting with these people, and the F-16 jets were flying all over us. It was like a war in a moment. So really big trauma. But Turkey has been experiencing really bad days for the last 2-3 years. But I believe that the worst is over. I believe we're getting back to normal. Rallies, these democracy walks have helped us to cure ourselves. We all get together on the streets, on the maidans, and it helped us. The Gülenists nested in Turkish state apparatus were like a cancer for all of us. So I think this terrible event was their last and final attack. As we faced them, as we fought them, we now think that we will be better than ever soon.
Okay, Merve, last question. Some people in the media are not supporting Turkish democracy, either directly or indirectly. As a Turkish journalist, somebody living in Turkey, how do you negate their opinion?
Well, I stood against the Gülenists that night, Zain. I resisted it. A political party that I don't support can win the elections, and I can accept it. But I will never accept an authority that tries to take control by force. And anyone who defines themselves as Democrats can't argue against the simple fact, this basic principle of democracy. Democracy means people's will should rule. It's exactly that what's happening in Turkey, and we are still trying to protect our democracy. But as you say, some people in or out of Turkey who says that their expertise is journalism are trying to convince people that the democratic elections are not good for Turkey. In Turkey there is a tendency to being ruled very well, which is not. Actually, I think that Turkish foreign policy, especially towards Middle East, is not benefiting for some people's hidden agendas. That's why Turkey is being targeted with anti-Erdogan, anti-Turkey, everything black propagandas. But as we see, when they attack harder and harder, they see more in front of them. Now, they were targeting Erdogan first. Now, if they will dare, they will target Turkish people, which I hope they will not do, and they will stop, because it's not democracy what they are trying to do. It's democracy what the people want.
Thank you so much, Merve Sebnem, for being on Tactical Talk from Istanbul. It was a pleasure having you.
It was really nice to talk to you. Hope to talk to you soon, Zain.
This was Merve Sebnem, a prominent Turkish journalist. We discussed the Turkish coup and clarified a lot of misconceptions that were coming out from different media houses. Until the next episode of Tactical Talk, this is Zain Khan. Take care and goodbye.